And we had about, my recollection, was about 8 suicides in 18 months of police officers. And I believe that because of the trauma, I mean, life is traumatic, but and as a first responder, we have additional trauma. And I was arguing about the fact that we need to do what I call a psychological autopsy on these officers to see if the profession had anything to do with the depression or the issues that led to suicide. And the mindset of the other chiefs were like, hell with them. They took the easy way. I go, that's bullshit. We owe that to their... So am I supposed to say that here?
Oh, yeah, no, it's totally fine.
Okay, all right, already take 2. And I said, that's bullshit. We owe it to their families to find out that this officer, I mean, I can tell you, I remember going to the Santa Monica Farmers Market crash. A man by the name of George Weller, 80-something-year-old man, instead of braking, accelerates through some barricades, about 3 or 4 blocks, injured 70-something people, running them over, killed 11 people. For weeks, I was having nightmares about that scene because it looked like a war scene. Oh, you look a lot younger than me, but when I was a kid, they used to show you those Cold War videos where the drills for nuclear explosions, where you'd see where they detonate a nuclear bomb out in the desert in Nevada, and you see all the dummies, and they videotape it, and you see the wave coming at them from the nuclear explosion. That's the nightmare I would have for weeks. So don't tell me that that's not traumatic. And so I would say we have to do that post-traumatic, we need to do that post-mortem psychological autopsy to see what was going on. Did they just try to pull a kid out of a burning car that died in their arms? You know what I'm saying? So we started doing that. I ended up winning that fight. I do that as a chief. Sadly, I've had 3 suicides in my career, 15-year career as a chief. And the other thing that's really important is that I stopped talking about PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And I started talking about, I read it somewhere, that post-traumatic stress injury. Because if you say disorder, that can have some, that connotates with something wrong. No, you have an injury. You have all this trauma, and it's an injury. And so I think that words matter. So we also have to be really careful about how we talk about these issues, because we want to encourage people to understand there's nothing wrong with you. What you're going through is normal. More people than you think are going through the same thing, and it's not as a result of anything you did. It's an injury based on what you've seen, what you've experienced, what you've smelled. I mean, sometimes to this day, I'll get the smell of burning flesh of people, of one scene in particular where a family died, burned to death in a car, and there's a very distinct order. That's still, I have flashback. Did you ever see the movie Crash? Do you guys remember the movie Crash, right? There's a scene there where the car is upside down, the SUV, and the racist and the African-American woman that was a character that was abused by the one cop character is in that SUV. It's about to burst into flames, and then he ironically has to rescue her. Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
When I saw that scene, I flashed back to 1986 as a rookie officer by myself, where a woman on the Long Beach Freeway, southbound Long Beach Freeway at the 91, I'm an EMT, right? So I'm a new cop, I'm supposed to save the world. This woman died in my arms. And I flashed back to that years later watching Crash, and next thing you know, I'm crying. So the reason I share this with everybody is because life's a journey where you're going to have trauma, and at some point, it's okay to ask for help.